let's bring up the box office for that one because not good. Not good.
Yeah, well, I talked about this last week. I think you know
Yes,
what
you
to
did.
do.
I
You
didn't
did,
agree
but
with you. Yeah.
yeah, and you're a fan. Like I haven't watched. I have to be honest. I haven't watched any of the Fantastic Beasts movie. And I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I played all the games. I watched all the movies. Had merchandise, but I could never. When the trailers came out for the Fantastic Beasts, I just never felt the need to go and watch it. You know, it just didn't have that
Yeah.
Harry Potter feel to me at all, and it just didn't. And even a week ago, when I talked about the reason I talked about it being so bad for a Harry Potter spinoff, because people were like, Omicron and China market is not as fluent as it was. It's closed in a lot of markets, and I was like, that may be the case. That may be 100% true. But internationally, last week, it didn't make as much as it should have. It didn't make as much as the previous two movies did.
Right.
And people used all those excuses. And that's fine. It could be true. That could be valid. Okay. But when you go into its second weekend, which is its opening weekend domestically, and you're relying on a market that hasn't been as enthusiastic for these movies as the international box office has, you're now hoping the domestic box office saves your movie at the box office when 75% of the box office that the previous two movies made came from other territories that weren't in the US. So I could see it. That's why I said last week, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. And I think it's been proved. I don't want to be right, but it's been proven to be right this week because a $43 million opening for a Harry Potter spin off isn't good.
Yep.
And it's yeah, I just think people thought that maybe the US box office would save it this week. Going by the history of the previous two movies, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
because the fan base hasn't been as interested as the international fan base, and that's a shame because I want these movies to do well and I want people to enjoy them and stuff like that. But it looks like this may be the last one.
Yeah, it really sucks because let's go through this article first. Dumbledore, Secrets of Dumbledore opens to 43 million US, lowest in Harry Potter franchise. What now for the J.K. Rowling IP? And there's an update. Okay, so if there's still a five picture plan in place, which no, I don't think that's happening. But clearly, after this weekend's 43 million opening of Secrets of Dumbledore, it's time to pivot the Harry Potter franchise. That's the lowest opening ever stateside for a J.K. Rowling Wizarding World movie, and it's probably not prudent for the studio to go for another low opening record on the next project from the franchise. It was evident Harry Potter fans did not like the last movie, Crimes of Grindelwald, which is definitely a huge factor. Even if there was a cliffhanger and they didn't want to come back for Dumbledore. With Warner Brothers Discovery merger made official on the Wall Street earlier this week, this is unfortunately not the best optics for the studio. However, as CEO David Zaslav gets to know Hollywood, he should realize that sometimes greenlight decisions predate the studio's current regime. Who who would greenlight a $200 million net worth production on a franchise that wasn't working? The Fantastic Beasts movies were put into play by former WB Entertainment CEO Kevin Sujihara. Now, let me tell you something first. You haven't seen the movies, right? So
No,
as a fan of these movies, like I didn't enjoy Crimes of Grindelwald much. I didn't think it was bad. I just think it was very uneventful. I don't remember most of it. I just remember some scenes from it and all that. I do like the first movie a lot because it had that charm, it had that heart. The characters were amazing. It was a very light-hearted story, and it was beautiful. So that movie was good, but it still didn't have the Harry Potter elements because they were moving away from all that, right? They wanted to create something new. It's not like The Force Awakens where you are introducing new characters, but you still have these legacy characters in the background, right? That wasn't the case here. There was nobody from the old movies. So the requels, that's how the Scream movie called it, right? The reboot sequels.
yeah,
So that's not what happened here. So basically they didn't get anyone from them. So right from the get-go, people were not interested. Okay, it did make money. I think the first Fantastic Beasts made around 800 million or something international total worldwide. I think so, if I remember correctly. But that was the highest. The second one didn't make much money. The third one is the lowest now. I don't know if it will have legs, but it should, based on the quality of the movie. But I don't think it will because of various factors, which we also mentioned last time. Because um, the last movie did not do well, and that was mostly due to the kind of movie it was, and also the Johnny Depp situation that happened. So that could also play a factor in it. That is definitely playing a factor in it now, I think, because look at the numbers. It just shows, right? You cannot argue with that, because last time I was still arguing with you that maybe it won't affect and all that, but now the numbers are clear. You just cannot argue, right? So let me put it this way: Warner Brothers made Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League, and they mostly profited from that. Okay, and all those movies made over $500 million, right? And this franchise only did it once, and
Yeah.
I don't think this third movie will cross 500 either. I don't think. I hope it does because I like this franchise, but it's performing even lower than the DC movies that Zack Snyder did. So,
I don't think it will, because what's it made
yeah,
so far? Like 150 million, 140 million around that. You're
yeah,
talking about getting an extra 350 million over the next 40 days before it goes on the HBO Max. 45 days.
nope.
I don't think so.
And on top of that, you have all this word of mouth where people are against it. The Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial is going on right now as the movie is releasing.
Yeah, it's
Um,
weird.
and the marketing has also been
Hold on a
very
second.
interesting.
1 second. How do you let that happen where you release the movie the opening week that the court case is happening for the star? I'm going to say star. No disrespect to Jude Law or Eddie Redmayne, but like none of that cast, even Mads Mikkelsen, none of that cast is at the caliber of Johnny Depp
No, they are not.
in terms of the movies he's done, in terms of just who he is as a person. And you let that movie come out the same week as his trial, like that's bad marketing. I don't give a.
To be fair, the release date was set way before when the trial was announced to be happening now. This trial just came out of nowhere. WB couldn't, do anything about it. To be fair. But that's still bad timing. It's still very bad. It's the worst timing because it's literally happening the same time. So, and on top of that, you have J.K. Rowling stuff. So, there are so many factors that is working against it.
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller too, yes, that's also another factor. So I personally would urge people to go watch this movie and support this movie because um, it really is good. It's it argued even Scott said that it was the best one. I've most people who have seen this movie are saying that this is the best one yet. But if you are
Too little, too late.
yeah. But if you are still just you do not care about this franchise at all, you just want Harry Potter, then maybe this movie is not for you. But if you still want to feel that Harry Potter magic or get back into that world, this movie does it. So, without spoiling anything, I'll just say that. So if you wanna, if you want these movies to continue, whatever, go watch it. If not, then I don't think, I don't think that this franchise is continuing. Not after what happened with this movie, and after three movies. If Anne Sarnoff was around, she would just put out another article. We're happy to be working. We're happy to complete the trilogy that J.K. Rowling was making and move on to better things. Whatever.
Yeah, they'll have to protect the perception of
Yeah.
the IP as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if in 45 days, once this hits HBO Max, it's like record breaking number or something like that, or like one of I would not be surprised if a big article came out about Fantastic Beasts being on HBO Max, because you have to protect perception of your brand, even if it's lies. And I understand if they were to do that, if they were to tell lies about this. But yeah, let's just say it makes 350 million on HBO or at the box office, around that, close to 400. Let's just say it does between 300 and 400. and on HBO Max it kind of blows up. It does really, really well. Then maybe you have a justification for 4 and 5 to be made. Maybe you
Do
could have a
they?
series, a limited series on HBO Max to finish the story. Because it would be a shame if you have this 5-story plan and it gets cut halfway through. That would be a shame. We were used to that with the Snyderverse. But to have a limited series on HBO Max, I think that would do really, really well, actually.
But that's coming,
Um,
isn't it? So they don't have to continue this.
yeah,
They can just skip
true.
this and go to that, you know?
Yeah, well, they could. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they could do, like, just to finish it up, do a limited series, 6 episodes or something like
Yeah.
that, 8 episodes, Fantastic Beasts, finish it there on HBO Max. That's something they could do before the main. That could tide them over until the actual Hogwarts HBO Max series comes. But yeah, it's not too good at the minute. Yeah, I got a B+ cinema score as well, which is,
Which is
I think
also
it's
the
one of the
lowest
lowest.
one. Yeah.
That's one of the lowest for Harry
Only
Potter related
Crimes of
movie.
Grindelwald had B plus, and now
Yeah,
this movie has a B plus.
yeah. So it's not. There's not too many wins with these movies at all.
Yeah.
And if they're costing a lot of money to make, and then each time they come out, the box office is getting lower and lower, then you obviously have a problem. You can say what you want about. We're just talking about like the Zack Snyder's movies. There was a progression of his box office, though. Even though maybe the critics weren't so impressed, or like online was very hurtful to it. Like Man of Steel made what it made, and then Batman v Superman made an extra 350 million after that. Suicide Squad came out, made close to 800 million. Wonder Woman made a lot of money, and then when they tried to change kind of tone and stuff, that's when the box office has gone down and gone down and gone down in the DCU. It's only because of movies like Joker and Batman, which are standalone things in their own right. That's their only big wins. Like Aquaman, I would relate that to the Snyderverse movie as well because he cast that character and but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Fantastic Beasts because there's a lot of damage control got to do with this over the next week and a half or so. It might have legs though as well. So because there isn't a lot of movies out right now. There's Sonic out there, There's that's a big family pull, Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's first one was great. That
That's
blew up
also
on
another factor,
streaming.
yes. That's
That
playing
that
right
blew up
now.
that blew up in streaming as well during the pandemic. So many people fell in love with that movie, and that's why the second one's doing so well. So
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's over yet. I think it might have some legs, of course, but if the 45-day window is in place, just like the Batman, and they cut the Batman one short, they brought out a little bit earlier. It's coming out tomorrow, so they might do the same for Fantastic Beasts as well. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know, Harry Potter fans.
I don't think it's going anywhere, dude. Like, they still have two more movies in that plan. The actual plan is Dumbledore fighting Grindelwald like a full army versus army. So that's the big battle. And it's just, I don't, because that's also a big budget movie. How do you justify making that? I don't think it's happening.
It's it's you're going to lose money if it continues this way, unless
Yeah.
I don't know they cast a big actor in 4 and 5, or they bring Johnny Depp back. But can they do that now to Mads Mikkelsen? Like it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah. They cannot bring Johnny Depp back. Like, Mads Mikkelsen is playing him. I don't think that would
Yeah,
bode well with the whole franchise at all.
yeah, it's messy.